Many federal employees plan on moving once they retire. Wouldn't it be great if you moved to your dream location and paid less in taxes? Now, taxes shouldn't be the only reason why you pick a specific state, but knowing the tax-friendly states for federal employees might help sway your decision. In this episode, we will reveal state tax benefits for 4 income tax breaks you might receive as a federal employee, and we'll also review other tax considerations you should be looking at before you plan that move. Welcome. I'm Ed Smith, President of Valor Wealth Partners, where we're dedicated to educating federal employees on your complex and often underutilized benefits. Reducing taxes is a huge part of financial planning. And in this area, we want to be looking at the states that have passed laws that eliminate certain income taxes that you might have to pay as a federal employee. But more important than reducing your taxes is being happy. So please, when we're looking at this information, this is just one variable when you're looking at a place to move into retirement. The first states we want to look at are states that have no income tax at all on the state level. And there's 9 of them. So these 9 states do not require you to pay income tax for any reason. The next 9 states we want to look at do not tax your federal pensions, either FERS or CERS. But remember, they're only reducing your federal pensions. So there's other taxes you have to be looking at, like Social Security you'll still have to pay, maybe pension of a spouse, or there's also TSP income, IRA income, or if you own a business, there's other types of incomes that you'd still have to pay taxes. So while they're friendly to federal employees, they're only reducing the federal pension, both the FERS and the CERS. So here's 18 states between the 2 of them that are already very tax-friendly to federal employees just on your pension. The next grouping of state is actually adding 25 states, or 25 states total, that do not tax a military pension. And because there's a lot of federal employees that are also retired from the military, we want to include this as part of the benefits for federal employees. So there's 25 of those states that do not tax a military pension. Remember, there's also 9 that don't tax anything, so that adds a little bit more. And there's 13 states that have a partial tax on military pensions. This is really great for our military community, or the people that have retired from the military. But there's actually something that I found a little bit disturbing when I was looking at this information. Now, I didn't retire from the military, but I am a veteran. So when I saw 3 states that had no benefit at all, I was a little bit upset about that. More importantly, it's the states themselves of which 3 do not have any benefit at all for retired military. Those 3 states are California, Virginia, and Vermont. Now, California has a lot of bases. Virginia has a lot of military personnel. I mean, the Pentagon is in Virginia. In Vermont, well, I'm not so much mad about Vermont. Vermont's a beautiful area. I've actually been to the veteran cemetery up there visiting a gravesite. Beautiful. I know they love their veterans up there. And it was just very shocking that that Vermont was not on that list that gave any benefits to them. But California and Virginia, really, shame on you, because the military community really supports your economy with so many personnel that are in your state. So hopefully somebody's watching this and can actually make some movement on them and say, hey, to your politicians, what's going on here? Why aren't we helping out our veterans that have retired from the military and spent so much years of service with the military? Okay, enough of that rant. Let's get moved on to the last section that we want to be able to talk about. The fourth and last area gets a little confusing. Social Security. Now with Social Security, there's 37 states that do not tax Social Security income. But it's not an add-on state like some of them we've looked at before. Like when you had a federal pension on the civilian side, military pensions also included all of them, and they just added on military on top of that. So all of them that did include federal on the civilian also included military pensions, or military pensions that they did not tax. With Social Security, there's a lot of exceptions. So like I said, there's 37 states that do not include it, and the map gets a little bit confusing here. So I'm just going to go through the exceptions. We didn't want to redo the whole map on this, so just look at the exceptions. If you're in one of those states, we want to take a look at that. I want to read them to make sure I get it right. Kansas does tax Social Security, but not federal or military pensions. 6 states that tax Social Security, but not military pensions is Connecticut, Minnesota, Missouri, North Dakota, Utah, and West Virginia. So a little bit of variation there. Some tax one way, some tax another. You really want to be able to look at this. So those are the 4 different income taxes that you might have in looking at what is beneficial for you and finding the states that is good for you. So again, we're looking at no tax at all, no tax on federal pension on the civilian side, no tax on the military pensions, and then no tax on the Social Security income. While it's great to know all of these different benefits that you have in picking a state, before you go and jump to that new state, let's look at some of the other considerations that you have to look at, because while they are no taxes for a specific area, there might be higher taxes in another area. Some of those areas could be city or county taxes, might actually include taxes on those areas, and that could be offset some of those gains. Other areas you have to look at is property taxes, or maybe a sales tax might be higher in a specific state than another. Because they don't have income tax coming from one area, they might increase taxes in a different place. You also might have special rules on investment taxes. Different states have different rules, so you really want to be able to make sure you know what they are before you say, oh wow, I'm not taxed on my pension or my Social Security, let's move over to this state. Not so fast, make sure it's there. And this is also for those original 9 that had no income tax at all, because they might have higher property sales tax or something else. So definitely check into this for you. In summary, reducing taxes in your retirement paycheck is just smart planning. But remember, it's not the only variable that you should be looking at. You should also be happy. We want the best solutions for you and your family, so please get conflict-free, unbiased advice. Thank you for your time today, and we look forward to helping you in the next video.